Under the new property tax regime, which is coming in from next November, and will cover the years 2026 up to and including 2030, the amounts which you'll be liable for are as follows. If your house is worth 240,000 or less, the amount will be €95. That's only a €5 increase on what it was previously. If your house is valued between 240,000 and 315,000, the amount you'll pay will be €235, which is just €10 more than previously. If your house is valued between 315,000 and 420,000, the amount you'll pay is 333, which is a €28 increase. And if your house is valued between 420,000 and 525,000, the property tax will come to 428, which is again roughly €20 more than previously. Now, it's important to bear in mind that each local authority in the country has the right to raise or lower that figure by up to 25%. It could bring it down by up to 25%, it could increase it by up to 25%. Now, there's a number of things which people should know, and one thing is that there's a large category of people in the country who don't have to pay property tax, in the sense that they can have it deferred. They can have it deferred indefinitely and decide to pay it at any stage they wish, or they can defer it while they're still alive or such time as they dispose of the house. Now, the people who can qualify for a full deferral, if they're a single person, their income must be under €25,000 per annum. If they're a married person, their income must be under €40,000 per annum. Now, people also have the option of deferring 50% of the property tax, and that will apply to, if it's a single person, up to 40,000 per annum. If they're under 40,000 per annum, in the case of a married person, it will be under 55,000 per annum. Now, those figures for deferrals are going to increase each year with inflation, and that's important to bear in mind. It's also important to bear in mind that if you have a mortgage, if the person who is seeking deferral is already paying a mortgage, the numbers, the exemption limits can increase further, but I don't want to go into too much detail on that. But if anybody has any queries in it, I'll be happy to accommodate them. Now, in addition to that, there are a number of properties that are specifically exempt from property tax. For example, properties affected by defective concrete blocks, i.e. pyrite properties, where the owner doesn't live in the property due to illness or disability, the property is exempt from local property tax. If the property was built or adapted for somebody who is permanently and totally incapacitated, that will escape property tax. If the property is a commercial property, obviously it's a domestic tax, so the property tax won't apply. An important exemption is where the property is unoccupied due to the fact that it's not suitable for living in. That property is exempt from property tax, but of course that people will probably be called upon to prove that it's not livable in, usually by reference to ESB records, etc. And finally, of course, mobile homes are not subject to property tax. Now, if somebody is unhappy with the property tax they've been asked to pay, they can engage with the property tax people, who are very easy to deal with and can be readily contacted by phone or by email. And at the end of the day, if you still can't resolve your dispute, you have the right to appeal to the Taxation Appeal Commissioner. Now, one final point to make, a lot of people don't seem to know about their entitlement to have the property tax deferred. And sometimes when you explain it to them, they'll say, well, you know, this tax, there's an 8 or 4% annual interest on the amount that you're liable for. And they say, won't I be leaving a big bill for my son or my daughter or my husband or whoever I want to leave the property to? I think that's a bit misconceived, because just looking at the figures for liability to property tax, if you get it deferred even for 10, 15 years, the amount you'll be liable for will be very, very, very small still in relation to the overall value of the house. So that's something to bear in mind.